Hi, this is Tim, and today I'm going to share with you if you should use your company page or your personal profile to promote your business. The simple answer is you have to use both. Each of these two elements has certain benefits and certain disadvantages when it comes to marketing. So let's start with pages. Something you can only do with pages is that you can run ads or promote and boost your post on people who follow your company page. This is simply not possible on personal profiles. You cannot go there and say, I want to run an ad to everyone who has liked my post or is following you. This is not possible. You need to have a page to do this. So the benefit of having a page and the ability to run advertising to it is that you don't have any control over the newsfeed algorithm on your personal profile. If you don't get constant content out on a daily basis, you might not get the reach when you want to promote something that is urgent and requires engagement in real time. So having the ability to pay to play is actually a really good benefit of having a page. Because when you have something and you want to boost it, you can just click the button and put a budget behind it and it's going to work. The second thing that you can do only with pages is you can create posts that will only be seen by a small part of your audience. This is especially useful if you have a multi-language audience, international audience who's speaking different languages, and you want to, for example, publish a press release in multiple languages. So let's say you have 10 languages. You want to publish in English, Spanish, French, German, Italian. And if you publish them all on the same day, because this is when you want to release your press release, people are going to see 10 posts in their newsfeed and they're going to be super annoyed. So like, I'm not speaking Spanish, I don't speak Italian, I don't speak like German. Why are you sending out 10 different times the same version of your press release? But on pages, you can actually go and you can say, only show this post to a specific subgroup of my followers. You can say people who only live in a certain city, people who only speak a specific language, people who work in a specific industry, who have a specific role title, who work in a company with like 10,000 plus people. You have all of those filters that you can use to publish something to a smaller subset of your followers. So that's really powerful. If you really understand how to use this, you might have something like, let's say you have 10 different role titles among your audience, but you have a webinar that you want to promote, which is only relevant to a small subgroup. For example, you might have people who are working in management, people working in HR, and you have a webinar about HR regulations, upcoming changes in the next year, and you don't want to annoy the CEO of a company who's not like involved in those kind of decisions. So you can just promote it to a small subset, the HR people. They're happy. You get like a higher amount of people to join up. You're not spamming the people where it's not relevant for them. This is something you can do with your company page. Now, the downside of the company page is that you have lower reach than personal profiles. And people usually feel disconnected from, if you just have a logo, people don't feel there's a person behind it. It's more like a big anonymous corporation. So that's the downside. But you can combine this, kind of come back to this in a minute, by using your personal profiles of yourself and your employees, your entire team to make this work. So let's have a chat about personal profiles. Personal profiles are really great for creating authentic content on LinkedIn. Content that was written by employees themselves in their own voice, not by a marketing department, where people share normal everyday stuff. So this allows people to perceive your employees as a real person, not someone who's like trying to sell them something. So by building up each and every employee or team member's personality on LinkedIn, by showing what they're interested in, topics they care about, sharing something that goes on behind the scenes from their point of view, you can actually make people feel connected with your brand. Now, you don't just want to rely only on personal profiles, because what would happen is people start to follow this person, and let's say at some point the person's leaving the company, then the follower come along with them. So that's not really what you want. You want to get people, you want to have your employees creating content to bring people over to your company page. So even if someone is leaving at some point, the people are still connected to your business and you can still reach them and communicate with them. So how can you do this? You can do this by combining people sharing personal content on their personal profile, and then occasionally sharing content that is complementary to what they shared on their personal profile but was published on the company page. As an example, let's say we are in HR and you want to talk about the recent regulatory changes. So you might have a personal opinion from one employee what this could mean. And then the person who's like creating this content, writing this in their own words, they're attracting other people who might be interested in this. But once in a while, the person could share a company update which contains an ebook, white paper, which is summarizing all the different things that are happening, some recommendations on what to do with this. And now you have the match. You share the company page, now people see, if they want to access the resource, they see the company page and they have the option to follow your company page as well. So this is how you occasionally you focus on creating the majority of your content on each employee's personal profile, and then occasionally you bring people over to your company page to download something, to access a white paper, and then over time, slowly bit by bit, you can build an audience on your LinkedIn page. Another very powerful approach is that you use advertising to grow the number of people who want to join your LinkedIn page. This is a really great tool. If you have the tools and the means to make this work really fast, then you can just go there and boost certain posts and content and white papers on your page directly to a larger audience. The reliable and slower way is using all of your team members, and this is creating the stronger bond. You can quickly push out content with advertising, but the loyalty to your brand is not going to be the same as if you go the slow route of building your employees up, letting your employees publish content, bringing them their audience to the company page. This is a much better, reliable way and creates much higher brand loyalty because people feel connected to the person, and part of this loyalty and connectiveness to this person who is working at this company is transferred over to your company page. Well, if you run advertising, people often just want to have this one resource and then they're gone. So the smart way is really having all of your team members creating content. Now, the secret is you have to get this in sync. You can't just have everyone like posting about whatever they think. Because people will run out of ideas, and then some people write about some stuff that is like not really relevant to your company. They might talk about their garden, and it's not attracting the right kind of audience. So you have to have a content marketing strategy in place for your company that is also creating content topics for each and every employee. That means you have to have a content planner for an entire year, so people can just look it up. Okay, this morning, week number 3 of 2019-2020, this is what I'm going to talk about. And the company also has to make sure that they're giving employees the time to create this kind of content. But you want to think about, like, you don't want to have each and every person publish about the same thing each and every day. Let's say you would create a content strategy where you tell everyone, okay, I want you to write about this regulatory upcoming changes. And then 100 of your employees are going to write a content piece about this. And then they publish it all on the same day, on the same time, and then suddenly like people are getting overwhelmed. There is 100 very similar posts with a very similar content, and some people might like one of your employees' posts, and I see like another one popping. I say like, yeah, I kind of read this just over there, like from one of your colleagues. So you won't get the engagement if everyone is posting about the same thing all the time. So you have to actually create a strategy and a content plan where you assign certain topics to certain employees and certain time points, so the other employees can actually engage with the content. So you're not overloading everyone's audience. You want to make sure that there is no internal competition. You just want to have one person posting about a specific topic at the right time. And you also want to think about like how you can build up this content strategy so you can actually nurture the audience. So it's not just like there's one post. You want to think about long term, that more people are coming in, and you want to build up people with no background knowledge, people with some knowledge, people who are already at the advanced stage and expert stage. You want to have content for all of them, eventually taking them up the ladder so they're becoming like more educated, understanding what you have to offer better, and eventually become customers. So that has to be also taken into consideration. Like, what is the timing? When do you want to talk about like small, beginner, medium, intermediate, expert stage content? So if you can manage this, you will have an entire team of your employees creating content at the right time. They're not competing with each other. The content is building on top of each other, is building and nurturing your audience, bringing people over to your company page. Your company page, you can further segment them. If you have something very specific, you have the ability to run advertising on them when it matters most, when you want to really push something out into the world. And this is a really great way how we can combine profiles and company pages. And if you need some help with this, let me know, send me a message, or go to timqueen.com and send me an email, because this is something I do best. I help companies to set up this kind of content strategy, to develop a content plan for each and every employee, to have a calendar, publishing calendar, so you know when to post what, how to structure this, how to create content posts, and how to make this work for like an entire company. So make sure that you go to timqueen.com or send me a message on LinkedIn to learn more about this. I put some links in the comments below. So let me know, what do you think of this approach? What have you done to promote your business on LinkedIn? Have you used company pages? Have you shared content? Let me know what you have tried. And also make sure, I've completely forgot about this, I have an article on company pages in the comments as well. So check this out as well. So see you soon, and make sure that you subscribe and hit the notifications on, and see you soon.